We fade in on three bedraggled figures. The door to the motel they've been staying in for a few days now opens with a click, and three of them dragging their feet, tired, hurt, soaked with the rain that falls quite steadily outside, and blood from our own encounter in the swamp. As the last of you closes the door behind your last instructions from your ally, Agent Renko, to lay low and take a breather before the next step. He'd be in contact in a day or two to arrange a shopping trip of sorts with your newfound gains. But until then, the door behind you and danger out of sight for the meantime, I'll let the three of you take it away.
Well, I still think we should have gone into the basement. I'm upset about this.
Honestly, I'm just happy we survived all of that.
We were okay. We would have been completely fine. I carried us through that entire thing, and it would have been fine.
You didn't see the solid snake shit I was doing. Honestly, I think we all pulled our weight.
I saw you sit down in the middle of a hallway when a creature from God knows where tried to maul me.
That's crazy. I literally do not remember that.
Of course you don't. That's because you went into shock.
Yeah.
Well, the kids are safe. So, I guess win for Team Insanity. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what the group is called.
I think
Team
that's
Insanity.
really all we've got between us at this point. We've belonged to fucking probably 0 organizations. I mean, shit, should we just go with Ranko?
No, we belong to an organization. We're on the terrorist watch list.
Team watch list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, we're probably one of the most wanted felons right now.
That's
Probably.
cool.
Because they will probably trace that back to us. That incident over there. Somehow, in some way.
Yeah, one of the 17 factions we have pissed off is going to pin this on us. Or, I mean, they might just figure it out naturally. I mean, they got people like Eliza, so...
Yeah. But they're not as good as Eliza is on the computer. Little hacker woman.
That's true, but... I mean, did any of us sort of bleed profusely?
I don't know, but I'm covered in it, so I gotta wash it all off before I figure out what's what.
Oh, that's cool. Is there like a comically long set of red footprints leading to the front door, or did we already deal with that, or what?
If they were, they'd have been washed away by the rain. The majority of the blood has sort of lingered on your clothes. They'll need a wash. But you haven't left anything telling outside, no. As a matter of fact, as a result of your successful mission, and I'd like you all to roll a 1d6 for me, please.
Oh boy.
Shit,
Allow
we'd
me
love to
use
hear
my
that. As a
comically
result of
large-
success. Wait,
use
what? How comically large?
Here's
Oh,
my
okay.
D.
That's a 5 from me.
Okay.
I thought
Here's
you
a
were about to
regular
pull out
D6.
like a 10-inch by 10-inch cube.
Oh my god, I should get one of those.
Two
Big
hands, just
cube.
throw it like that.
I got
Just
a 6.
repaint a block of wood, yeah. I got a 6 that's crazy.
High rollers.
You get those back insanity points.
Holy shit, guys.
The Cthulhu dice praise
We're
me
back
well.
to 69! Let's
Hell
go.
yeah! It's back.
It's back. It's back.
I'm honestly not doing too poorly myself.
I'm almost back to my maximum.
I was about to say,
sanity.
I'm one
Yeah.
under maximum somehow.
We're doing good.
You only have 70 max for your sanity?
I only have 72. Like
Yeah,
70
some of us
Okay.
put points into other things so we could do dumb shit out of character.
Wait,
Or or out of combat, rather.
My charisma is 10.
Mine's 13, and that's my lowest stat. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief.
Desmond have
Okay.
some crazy stats.
I did get goated stats and
My-
then made the dumbest motherfucker imaginable.
My
To balance
charisma's
it.
14.
That's
Face of
pretty
the
good.
party.
That's better
Yeah.
than mine. Yeah.
Eliza,
You
there's...
do mostly talk to. Oh,
It's alright. There's a ringing from your bedside cabinet in particular.
I'll have a peek in there.
It's your personal phone.
Okay. Does it have a caller ID?
Your boss.
Oh. It's probably a really stupid idea to accept a call from someone from the FBI right now.
I mean,
Right.
in general, yes. Right now,
I mean, like,
very
It might be
yes.
fun.
she's one of my closest friends, but she's also my boss. And we both work for the FBI, so maybe I shouldn't be talking to her right now.
I'll talk
I
to her.
mean,
No, I'm worried about them tracking my phone, not
listen.
talking to my boss.
If they're calling your phone, I'm gonna be real with you. They can probably just track your phone.
That's true.
I mean, there's a million fucking pieces of metal up in space.
The-
so who
the
knows what any of
ringing's-
them do?
The ringing stops just as Desmond finishes saying that.
I
All right,
guess-
assholes.
Do I call her back? I'm kind of
What?
curious, I suppose.
Oh, it's too late now.
Aren't you curious what the people closest to you think of you now? I'm
The people
curious.
No.
closest to me.
I don't know if he is.
The people closest to me.
What is your therapist gonna say, Kane?
I saw this coming. I should have known. I should have reported him to the police first day.
He. All right. I mean,
Well, I guess I miss the people who were there before my life turned upside down. But there's no going back to that now, so maybe it's better not to even think about it.
That's what I do.
Kane,
after all
I do
this
not
is-
aspire to be in your mental state. I'm going to be completely honest with
Hey,
you.
my mental state is great. I'm not the one that had to punch my teammate when we saw a Wendigo. All right.
But you did smash your own head on a table to re-break your nose.
You got the job done.
Okay.
Look,
the
we all
job,
make
I suppose,
sacrifices.
is really what was in question here. But anyways, I think Eliza's stumbling onto a point here of maybe we shouldn't be carrying these phones anymore. And we should stop using... Well, I mean, I stopped using my cards once we flew in, but...
The
I don't
bank
know
won't
if
give me a
you-
debit card or a credit card.
Kane,
They've
you
denied
are
all.
a miracle every minute you stay alive.
I also
Um,
tossed away my smartphone. I don't trust those things. Not
we
after what the
should-
government did in 07. Sorry.
We should probably also shred any ID we have on us. Like, I mean,
Oh, I would hold off on that. I do want to try to clear our names and get back to society, alright? I like fast
I
food a little
don't-
too much.
I don't know if that is going to happen. Really.
Well, not with that attitude. Where's that go get 'em, Eliza? Where'd she go, huh? Don't you have, like, a husband you need to go divorce or something?
Well, that's not really making me want to return to my normal life, you know?
What do you mean? That's alimony money. What you talking about? Get that guap. Get your child. Leave him.
Your
I'm
husband...
hip with it.
Sorry, her husband was literally seduced by a demon. And you think there's going to be alimony money? Her husband is going to fucking nowhere hell place, wherever all these different things go to when they're not fucking with us. So
You think it's possible to blow her up? Like, it worked. The grenade worked really well against
well, you know what?
that Wendigo creature. Surprisingly
Honestly,
well.
I have too many demons to fight without adding her to the list.
That's why you get rid of them with
And-
high explosive fragmentation grenades.
If I'm honest, I mean, it was shocking and upsetting and honestly pretty ruinous to my mental health, but they can have each other. Honestly, they probably deserve each other. I have bigger issues to worry about than whatever my husband is doing.
Speaking of which, how's your nemesis? Has he made any sign or, I guess, shot at you? Again?
Not yet. I don't think he knows where we are right now, or at least I really hope he doesn't know where we are right now.
Well, I think we have quite a bit to do, but I think instead I am going to take a nap. It's been a hell of a long day.
Right, but maybe take a shower first so you don't get blood all over the bed sheets.
Fine. And he almost angrily sort of shuffles to the bathroom.
With that, I think you can all probably stand to rest for the evening. Those of you with any permanent mental disorders will have to roll to see if you regain any willpower. Other than that, you rest for the evening and you gain 2 willpower back again. I believe that's Eliza will need to roll for me, so if you can go ahead and do that, please.
Oh, I already did. Poor Eliza's having nightmares.
Oh, I forget. Does PTSD have to? PTSD doesn't affect sleep, does it? It just lowers my stats.
No, all if you've got any, if you've reached breaking point and you've contracted something permanent, then you also have to roll for sleep. So you'll have to do that as well, yeah.
PTSD even from his breaking point, or was it a backstory thing?
It's a backstory thing.
I don't think anyone's reached a breaking point except for me.
No, yeah, it's only stuff that you've you've disorders you developed during gameplay.
Okay,
Characters
no,
developed during gameplay, so that's just Eliza.
Eliza's
I think,
not doing great.
You stare at the ceiling and sweat and play over and over again that woman walking across the space that was supposed to be for you and your husband alone, and also that brush with death on the rooftop, and you have that nightmare, and every time you've had that nightmare it's a different person trying to kill you. Sometimes it's all this, sometimes it's Renko, sometimes it's Kane, sometimes it's Desmond, sometimes it's your husband, your friends at work. There, every time it's different, but the effect is the same. The ending is changed. You don't make it off of that rooftop, either riddled with bullets or a fast descent face first to the ground level, and you wake up. Your eyes snap open as your dream self hits the ground at terminal velocity, and it's maybe 7:30. You've got like 6 hours sleep. Sun's been up for about an hour, and with that your new day begins, and I want you to think about what you may want to do with your day. Renko said he would come back to you today with the money laundered and good to go. Take it away.
We might as well make a shopping list then. Don't want to forget anything.
I mean, first off and foremost, we need to ordain what exactly the goal is. Are we fighting against wits? Are we running away in the woods to just hide? Are we gonna try to tear up the night force somehow? I mean, what's the actual goal? Because we're gonna need vastly different things. If we're trying to just hide in the woods, we spend most of it on preserved food and water. Medicine. We could probably last years. I mean, that was literally a duffel bag. It was almost comical.
I don't know. I I don't think I'm on board with doing whatever Wists actually wants us to do. It seems like a terrible, terrible idea to do it.
I think we all completely agree on that. However,
It's-
since you brought it up, you gave me an idea. Your fear was that if we did not do it, somebody else would. We know exactly where they need to go. We can stake out that place if we get fully disguised or shit. I mean, we could afford plastic surgery with this money. We could be different people, watch the place, take out whoever's trying to do it, learn something, or just stop them. Either way, we get kitted up with more armor. I think if we're gonna get a bigger gun, we get one and just a shit ton of ammo. Cause my Deagle is pretty much served me through all of what we just went through. So I guess maybe I should get a couple hand grenades, since that seems to be what works.
I am
what do you
fully
guys-
on board with the idea of hand grenades.
Yes, we've established that. How do you feel about sneaky ambush at the site?
So here's my thing, is that we still don't know what the end goal of Wist is, what he's trying to achieve by having us do this. We don't have any other information besides the fact that he has a task that he wants us to complete. So, why not, yes, let's stake out the place and try to figure out what exactly Wist wants with whatever the building is, like what he's trying to achieve with it. Play along up to the point where we pick up the package or see what's inside, and then make a decision from there. Because the second we have that, we can run. We can run back to and try to kill Wist, or run away into the woods and hide. Meet up with Renko. But
We can bury whatever these things are
exactly.
600 feet underneath the Appalachian Mountains.
Well, either way,
You know, I've got a shack in the woods.
if you had any paper trails leading there, tying it to you, then
I purchased it after I started working for Delta Green. You know what that means.
that means Delta Green knows about it,
Yeah, so
and SV8.
unfortunately, I guess I sort of eliminated that myself.
So
I
perhaps there's
really,
some supplies that we can grab, but
I really want to be realistic with you right now. We have so many people on our tail. I don't know if we'd really last as long as you think we would, hiding out. Like, Delta Green. SV8, probably. Definitely, after we broke into their site. The FBI, most certainly. Interpol, that's likely too. So, and then Wists with his whole, like, other dimension, basically.
well, yes, we have a lot of people on our tails, but here's the things that they want their cut of the pie for themselves. None of these are working in tandem with each other. And if we're smart and we play this right, we can use that against them. Delta Green will obviously throw off FBI trail if it means that they have a chance to get closer to us. SV8 will do the same towards Delta Green and vice versa. The only
However, we
Interpol was
know that Delta Green and SVA are known historically to work together. And I point directly at you, and then at us, like, all together, like, that's what we're doing.
I would say yes under normal circumstances, but considering how we just both ran away from Delta Green and then immediately attacked SV8, neither of those, like I said, want to give us up to the other.
I guess that makes you
Because
a
we
deserter
have
soldier.
because we have information about SV8 that they cannot get out. They don't want to get out.
Ooh,
And Delta
speaking of
Green,
information, Eliza pulls out that thing she stole from the Russians. The handbook.
point exactly.
I actually want to read this.
See, we're thinking about this as one large organization trying to work against us. It's not. It's multiple organizations that are in a race for time to try to get to us first before the others do. Because let's be honest, if we get captured by the FBI, what are we going to be doing? We're immediately spilling the beans on Delta Green and the illegal operations. The whole reason why we're there in the first place, as a way to save our own asses.
Kane, I'm going to be honest, I doubt we'd have the chance. Delta Green has FBI agents. And
Right.
Eliza gestures to herself.
But not all of them.
Not all of them, but I'm sure that a good amount of them are. Not that I know for sure because we're all in cells, but that's kind of the point of an organization like Delta Green, is that we don't know who the other members are. They could be anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we're apprehended by the FBI, the first person who sees us will be a Delta Green agent, and they'll administer something, and we won't have time to say anything. At least not on any record.
That is a fantastic point. So, I guess that means our current situation is just about KOS. Or we're getting caught by God knows what.
If you wish to spend the day doing something, you can advise me as to what that is now, whether that's in a group or individually. I'll start with Eliza. Is it? I think I have a good idea, judging from what was just said. You want to study the Matthew Carpenter Delta Green files that you found on site.
I would absolutely love to.
That will take all day. It's a big file.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's fine. When we get to the end of the day, I'll tell you what you gain from that and if there's any other side effects. Desmond, Kane, anything that you wish to do with the day while Eliza's going through those?
Yeah, hold up. There's a certain cookbook that I'm not going to mention on stream because it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
The Snoop Dogg cookbook?
Sure.
Yeah.
But let's just say that
The Martha
in
Stewart
doing so
prison
it
cookbook.
would increase my craft and demolitions, I believe.
You'd have to go out to obtain that.
It's not in any stories. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't get a physical copy of it without literally committing a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crime in itself, but mainly all the copies are through like black sites, or not black site, the dark web.
Sure. So you could make some searches, I guess, to see if you can arrange a buy, if you want to do that. We'll get to that then momentarily. What you make some searches, and then it's likely you'd still have to leave to go to the place in person to make the purchase. Sending that through the mail is a surefire way to just get arrested. Desmond, what do you want to do with your day?
That is a fantastic question. You know how we do. Desmond immediately on the burner phone calls up a delivery place. Since we have all woken up, and he is going to just get an obnoxious amount of large cups of coffee
Okay.
delivered. He doesn't even remember to ask for sweetener or cream. And he just gets, probably because he's a bit mad and anxious, I think he orders like the big ass bowl of chicken nuggets.
Okay.
And that's what we're gonna have as we go about our day.
What's your hit points like at the moment, Desmond?
I regained 1 from the rest, so I'm at 13.
Okay. That's what I would.
Take a hit
What you're doing, I would class as like no activity for the day. So you would regain an additional hit point at the end of the day if you continue to just sit and eat nuggies on your bed. That's perfectly fine.
Well,
Yes.
Cool.
Incredibly tempting, but that's not what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm in fact going to go on my burner phone because of something Eliza brought up earlier. A bit more personal. I'm going to just search as if I was a random user, and I'm going to find my wife's social media and my son's social media and see what's been going on those.
On both, there's a lot of worried family members, you know, are just asking if they're all right and when was the last time they saw you and that sort of thing. And it's a lot of they don't seem to have responded. They have not likely responded publicly. Essentially, you know, responding to anything on a Facebook page is public. So neither of them have done so, appear to have responded to any of that.
Fantastic. In that case, I think Desmond, while the two of them are doing some actual research and preparation, is just going to keep watch about the place because he knows how dire the situation is now. So he was pretty good at sitting in one place and staying still and watching around, so he's probably just gonna like go tuck himself in a bush or something outside.
That's fine. If nothing occurs towards the end of the day, I would still count that as like inactivity because that's essentially, you know, you are resting, so you'll get the additional hit point back if nothing else happens.
The basic idea is the second something goes wrong, I have a text already typed out on the burner phone that's about to send to both of theirs.
Okay.
That just says danger outside.
Gotcha. All right. The rest of the day does pass by somewhat uneventfully. You finish up, Eliza, with your sort of full analysis of the files you found. These don't appear directly linked to your case in particular. This is obviously acquired. You come to a conclusion relatively earlier on that this is information that SV8 has probably acquired from most likely a green box, which are the dead drops that Delta Green uses as an organisation, and it's mostly interview transcripts, personnel files, newspaper clippings, and copies of FBI case files. As I mentioned before, they're compiled by a Matthew Carpenter when he served with the A cell. Now, you mentioned the cell structure of Delta Green, and whilst you're correct in that most of Delta Green agents outside of their own cell don't know who the others are, there have always been the whisperings and the rumours and the rumblings of like a cell, that's the cell with the leadership. And Matthew Carpenter appears to have served with a cell between 1970 to about 99. You complete your study of the files, so you can gain 4% to your occult stat, 4% to your unnatural stat, with all of the things that apply to that. And I need you to roll a 1d6 for me, please.
That's a 3.
You will lose 3 sanity points from the study, though.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, towards the end of the case files, he starts to mention a group called Majestic 12, who seem to be, from what you could glean, a bit of a rival operation to Delta Green throughout the 1990s. And the end of Carpenter's reports, the last few that he files, detail a plan of sorts, an interagency sort of war between DG and Majestic 12, and compiling lists of potential agents for a hit team to go in and kind of nullify the Majestic 12 leadership that appeared to have been compromised by some sort of unnatural force. Majestic 12 was now considered a danger to the United States itself by Delta Green heads at that time. And one of the names that pops up on one of the kill team lists is Desmond's.
Ah. Curious. I'll have to ask.
Desmond, I'm going to say the day passes by for you with no issue. You're vigilant. You enjoy incredibly strong black coffee and a day of rest, so you can have the extra hit point that I mentioned as well.
Active 4, baby.
Technically a day of rest.
That was the hope.
And finally, Corporal Kane. You put the feelers out, and you're directed towards, on some boards, a bookshop that has some interesting tomes in the back room for your perusal, including the one you're looking for.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go to this bookstore.
Okay. You hop in whichever one of the rental vehicles you're wanting to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's approximately a 25-minute drive from your location.
I'm going to say I'm just going to bring that silenced Beretta with me. Just kind of...
Sure. Okay. And you reach the location. Just one moment. You know better than to pull up directly outside. You park a block or two down. Approach the address you were given from the other side of the street and cross over just after a lot of traffic passes, and you enter the front door Inside the bookstore, it seems like a bit of a trove. There's rows and rows of like leaning shelves with books filled to the brim with books that track in corridors like sort of trails cut into bamboo, and there's light bulbs that just hang with no shade. Some of the books look pretty old, and some of them are the latest, trash airport novels. So quite the spectrum. Behind the counter is it appears to be a black gentleman in his early 50s, maybe. A rough face. There's a gap between his teeth, and he wears small, sort of silver-framed folding glasses. You can see the hinges on the mid parts. He's wearing like a tweed coat, and he looks quite. He's very well. It's well dressed. He's well put together. There's a meticulousness about his wardrobe, and he's just placing a book under the counter when he sort of comes back up again, and with both hands kind of placed on the counter in front of him, looks across the room to you. Yes. I was anticipating your arrival.
Yeah, I believe so.
We have a friend, I believe.
Mutual one, yeah.
Just a moment. He turns and reaches under the desk, hands over the tome you were looking for. People usually come to me for the well, let's say a lot of the books I tend to sell are more leather bound. This is refreshing.
I'm also looking for some other items, just perusing as well. A little bit more less known, I guess. Mainly a book on North American cryptids, in not your West Virginia Mothman bullshit. I mean, actual encounters or of the likes. Something that makes you sleep a little less well at night.
Well, my shelves are your shelves. Please, my name is Mr. Robert. B.R. Robert.
Pleasure to meet you.
And he extends
Pleasure
his
to meet you,
hands
Robert.
to shake.
Do I notice like any tattoos or like specific markings on his body?
None.
Okay. I'll shake his hand then.
He shakes your hand and kind of presses on the handshake with his second hand and releases and takes a step back. If you ever need me, and he takes out a business card to hand to you. It's in thick, kind of hand-pressed vellum. It reads, B.R. Robert, Bibliopola. There is no phone number or address on this business card.
Do you happen to have also as well any of the leather-bound books that you mentioned? Demonology and specifically dealing with them? And I mean some high level
Hmm.
demonology.
You believe in demons, then?
I've had the wonderful pleasure of dealing with a few of them myself.
Oh.
The church doesn't always tend to be as helpful as you think it would be. So, salt and iron tends to work a little bit better.
Well, we all have our demons, Mr. Kane. Perhaps some of the books on my shelves and even some of my regulars may be able to help you.
Sure. And I would just kind of search through his shelves looking for advanced demonology tomes, scriptures, as well as some perhaps recollections or personal diaries of North American cryptids.
Roll search for me.
Come on, baby. That is going to be a 5.
Doesn't take you long to find a interesting book on North American cryptids and their history going back to some of the earliest stories told by Native American tribes right up to the present day. And as you keep reading beyond the present day, and your eyes widen as you peruse through the book detailing sightings dating to the year 2057. And you continue to read, and it's your usuals. The Jersey Devil, the Mothman, Wendigo. And you flick back just to the inside of the front cover, because the author's name isn't written on the book, but it is inside the jacket, written by Mr. D. Vickleston, US Park Ranger. Published date 2061.
I'm going to take that book with me.
You pocket the book, and as you turn around, you sort of bump into there's a small, sort of little, furtive, dark-haired, Caucasian man, roughly in his 30s, wearing glasses, much like Mr. Robert. He is dressed in a exotic-looking, like pristine lavender suit. It's eye-catching to say the least. What's your... Do you have anything... You don't have anything in art. What's your history? Do you have anything in history at all?
I have about 10%.
You can make a history roll for me if you want.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's 68.
Okay, not a problem. That's fine.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see you there. I was invested in my readings.
Yes, well, not to worry.
You seem as though you've perused these shelves a little more often than I do. Do you know where I could find any the shelves on demonology?
Demonology?
Or anything of the occult?
Why?
Yeah.
You look like a stand-up sort of guy. Why would you want to know about that?
Well, to know your enemy is the basics of war, is it not? I mean, a follower of Christ as myself, I would like to know more about, you know, things that haunt us and personification of, human sin.
We are surrounded by the divine in the things we make. And
You know, yeah.
oh, I believe that I design buildings, you see. He extends a
Oh,
hand to you to shake.
pleasure to meet you.
Darabondi. Asa.
Oh,
Darabondi.
pleasure to meet you, Gerald. Um, I used to be in the army as a medic, so I worked in tandem with some of our priests there at the time. A lot of them good friends of mine, uh, led me down the righteous path. But you said an architect. I've always found that so interesting. I mean, design. I mean, creating something with your own hands is something I just could never get myself to do.
You already said you wage war. That can be divine, I guess. I can't claim to be the authority on the subject. I build and get a little closer to that which drives me, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, do you have any buildings around here that you've constructed?
Not here. Working New York.
New York. Oh, nice, nice. I used to live up there for a while, actually. I'm pretty sure I probably would have seen it in New York City.
Mostly apartment buildings. I don't.
Oh, I mean,
If I don't have to. Landmarks are a bad idea. There's always too many. There's too much input from the outside. Laundry list of things they want you to do. Apartment buildings, as long as they serve function, I can make the outside look as divine as I need to be. Divinity is ascribed through perception. I believe that means all of us have the ability to create gods. Or demons. Who knows?
it's a very interesting perception on the matter.
I just finished my latest project. I need to go and sign off. A good day. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you again.
He
And I guess I would just.
turns and walks away. Can you make a alertness check for me, please?
Absolutely. That's going to be a wonderful 45. So, success on my part.
Yeah, he's mumbling something as he walks away, and the only word you catch is the word fool. And he rounds the corner and disappears out of sight.
I check my pockets immediately.
You're not missing anything.
Hmm. Um. Okay. Well, I guess I continue searching for. I got my cryptid book. I got my tome of explosion knowledge plus 40. Um, I guess I'm gonna go continue looking for um the demonology book, and I guess while I'm at it, any books referencing architecture and specifically the building that Wis wants us to infiltrate. Um, I never even thought about just like going down this road.
Okay. Roll another search check for me, please.
That is a 57, so just barely past.
Not a ton of books about architecture. You find one on like it's like famous architects and their American architects and their impact on like the major cities since sort of the turn of the century. And you're reading through, and you do see the Prudential Center in there, the Prudential Building, I should say. Nothing super of note. It was one of the first buildings, particularly in Boston. It's the largest building in Boston, made for express business purpose. Very similar to the mentality behind the building of the Empire State. Kind of Boston's own version of it is the idea.
Right.
But more interestingly, as you're reading through, particularly the section on New York, there is an entry on the McAllister building, and
Okay.
its chief architect, a Mr. Asa Seravin Darabondi.
Oh, shit. Huh. Hmm.
Doesn't say much about him. Mentions that he designed a lot of apartment buildings in different cities across the US, and the McAllister was the final building he designed before he was arrested for the drowning of multiple children in both the Hudson River and elsewhere. These date back to the 1920s.
Oh, I just shook hands with a child drowner.
Can you roll a sanity check for me now, please?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Hey, that is a. Oh, that's a 7. Okay, cool.
No sanity loss, not a problem.
Okay.
Your eyes definitely go wide as you read this, and you hear a noise just down the stacks to your left, like a shuffling, and heavy
Uh,
breaths.
I'm going to just calmly and just nonchalantly uh pull out my Beretta in a manner that is like not alerting, I guess, for them, just kind of like behind the back, just like as if I'm scratching. Just pull it out, have it
Okay.
at my side. It's already got around chambered. Click the safety off. I'm gonna just follow that noise, I guess. Just have the gun kind of behind my back, as if I'm just like scratching.
And you round the stack towards the source of the noise to the figure in front of you. Tall, gaunt African American man in his 60s, dressed in a long coat, grey hair, and a ragged looking face. The man you know as Dr. Elias Barbas. And he locks eyes with you just for a moment, carrying an armful of red tomes. And when he sees you, his arms go wide, he drops them, and he makes a dash.
They
around the
immediately
corner.
start. Actually, no, I'm not going to shoot at him. I am simply just going to be like, again? Again? He's a fucking roach. I'm going to go look at the tomes that he dropped and just start looking through them, I guess. I'm assuming they're probably blank, but...
Those are identical to the little red books that you found
Mhm.
in his apartment, that's correct.
Okay. I'm also going to look in the area that he was in for any other interesting books or tomes that like catch my eyes in relations to the things that have happened to me within the past like couple of days or a week or so.
Can make another search.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that, and then that's probably going to be my last search for this bookstore. I want to leave now. I've met too many strange old men. That's a 62 success.
You don't find anything directly linked, but you hear conversation. Mr. Roberts' voice coming from the counter, and it seems to be the tail end of a transaction. He says, "Oh, have a nice day, ma'am." Yes.
Of course. Have a nice one. And I drop like a few like $50 bills on the
No, sorry.
counter.
You hear him. You're back in the stacks, and you
Oh.
hear him. He's saying this to someone
correction,
else,
right.
and the voice that responds, you know it anywhere.
Let's hide away.
Amanda?
I'm not hiding away. I'm walking out to the front.
And you get to the front of the bookstore. You see the back of her head, young woman, 20s, dark hair, clutching a very familiar looking red book as she leaves the bookstore, and the door closes behind her.
With books in hands of my own, I'm just gonna chuck the books over a few like $50 bills and just run out the door and just try to look and
Did you find what you want?
yeah. 1 second, I'll be right back. And I just like kind of burst out the door and like look around and try to find her again.
Do you look towards Mr. Roberts? You saying this or no?
Yeah, it's rude not to.
As you do, the voice is the same, but the man is different. Familiar. Still a black gentleman, but different. Oh, stocky. On his hip is a small little cylindrical looking object. As the voice isn't the same, but that's the face of Remy Tozath.
Remy?
You must have me confused. Mr. Robert?
Yeah. Yeah, you look like an old friend.
Roll an alertness check for me.
Yeah. 32 success.
In your line of work, you're very good at when you meet someone and you clock them for the first time, like a head-to-toe scan. Usually for weapons and that sort of thing, but all the details are important. Mr. Robert Remy, whoever this is, stands behind the counter. And you see, out the corner of your eye on the ground, just sticking out from behind the counter somewhat, pair of feet. Brown leather shoes, almost definitely the same ones that the original Mr. Robert was wearing when you came in. This new Mr. Robert just stands there, hands clasped in front of him.
I'm gonna hold my books kind of close to me, walk up to the counter. You're gonna have about one chance to tell me the God honest truth right now. Is that Mr. Roberts on the floor there?
I am Mr. Robert.
Okay, so we're gonna be like that. I'm gonna do the air sigil again. Um, allow me to pull it up for you. Uh, specific name, the elder sign.
You begin to cast when from the back of the stacks there's a crash and a noise. Boots hitting the ground and moving towards you quickly.
I pull my Beretta out and just start pointing it in the direction of the boots.
You would have to stop casting the sigil. It takes your entire
right.
concentration. So you can do that if you want. It's fine. It's up to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to risk it. I'm gonna do the elder side.
It takes some time. A good. When I say time, I mean it's relative. It doesn't take like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's we're talking. It's not as quick as a combat action.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe several.
Okay.
The reason the last time you were able to do it so quickly is because you had the Patsu as a battery almost.
Right. Um, yeah, looks like I'm booking it while I'm also like kind of Naruto doing this elder sign like gesture.
You move where towards the door. You're only a few feet from the front door of the bookstore.
Yeah, I'm gonna like shove the books under my shirt and like start trying to like hold them in place with my elbows while doing the sign and then running out the door, completely looking like some person having a schizophrenic episode.
As you do so, this new Mr. Robert with his hands clasped in front of him, he just takes a solitary step back into the shadows that linger behind the counter and out of sight now. It's not visible. As bursting forth from the stacks and into the front area as you get the front door of the bookshop open are the same gas mask kill team that have been tracking you this entire time.
Jesus Christ!
And one of them opens fire. Now, if you want to continue doing a thing, you would not be able to make a dodge roll.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that and just hope to God that their rolls suck.
You're out of your mind. Sorry.
I was about to say. Like,
Okay. Okay. You're not dodging.
Yeah, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Just book it out of there and hope that their aim sucks.
The blast hits you square in the chest.
My books, no. Surely that would stop. Surely that would stop slugs. Please don't let me die in this bookstore right now.
Just a moment.
I swear to God.
6 points of damage.
Okay.
As the blast knocks you back through the door and out onto the street, flat on your back.
Okay. I'm
Is that
still alive.
with his body reduction, his armor reduction?
I don't have armor.
He's not wearing armor. He didn't tell me he was.
You don't have a concealable, huh?
I have my Beretta.
I'm a concealable body armor.
No, it's tactical armor. It's like actual ceramic plates in a
Gotcha.
tactical vest.
Well, good luck.
Right. Yeah, I'm out the store now. About how much percent of the elder side do I have completed currently?
No, it would have disrupted the spell, so you'd have to start over.
Fuck. All right. Well, looks like I'm getting the fuck up and getting the fuck out of there. And creating some distance.
Make an athletics check for me, please.
Yeah, I can do that for you. All right, we're looking at a nice solid 40, so success.
Okay, and you said you're getting out of there. What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to run down a couple blocks and then start going down some alleyways and just trying to get out of an open area where I don't have cover.
You're in downtown Boston. It shouldn't be too tricky, but you hear the noise of the boots behind you. They're following you. And you turn to look as they run down the street, weapons out, gas masks on, as they always are. Nobody else seems to be paying them any attention at all.
I guess the second I see them kind of turning a corner towards me, I'm just going to start opening fire with my Beretta.
Okay. So you can hold and roll a firearms check for me, please.
That is going to be a wonderful 55. So
Okay.
success, critical success on
Yeah,
that.
roll damage.
Oh, yeah, what is... it's a medium pistol, so...
Yeah.
So 1d10... Got a nice 7.
Okay. I'm going to give you a bit of a helping hand here. You do notice that one of them is injured. The others aren't. One of them appears to be injured. And you sort of, as you take aim and think, which one do I hit? You quickly have a flashback of your last encounter when you zinged one on the way out during your escape.
Oh my god, that's right. I did shoot at them.
So you hit him and nail him just a single shot. You see the side of the mask explode as he goes down. And as you open fire, there's some people around you. You're in downtown Boston, so there's people around you. They begin screaming and pointing at you. And you just hear, "He's got a gun!"
Um, mhm, that's interesting. Well,
And very quickly there are the sound of sirens.
oh yeah, I'm just booking it. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna book it out of there. Head towards the. Hmm, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Um, I guess I try to like. Hmm, where do I go from here? What Kane do? Um, I guess while just kind of running down alleyways to avoid detection from other people, as well as um the gas mask fuckers. I'm gonna call Eliza and Desmond on my burner phone real quick.
We'll cut over very quickly then to both Eliza and Desmond. Eliza, in particular, as you're in the midst of perusing the Matthew Carpenter case files.
Eliza has like a cup of tea. She's got all her case files
Yeah.
out to one side. She's
You,
like, have
you,
a chill day.
you get a text on your burner from Renko saying turn on the TV.
Yeah. Okay. Eliza will turn on the TV.
Local Boston news. Police in pursuit of an armed suspect in downtown Boston. Helicopters are on scene. And the live footage cuts to what appears to be a news chopper. And what is unmistakably a bleeding Corporal Kane sprinting headlong down the pavement.
Oh, fuck. Desmond, get in here. This
Desmond.
is as bad as I think it is, right?
Desmond walks in, and he has 3 empty coffee cups stacked underneath the full coffee cup he is currently drinking from. He looks at you, and his eyes flick to the TV screen, and he squints. God damn it. I thought he went to get a book.
We had one job. Oh my god. Eliza's going to text Renko back, like, is there anything you can do to help us right now?
There's a minute or so goes by, and you get a response. Neck deep in money laundering. Sorry, and then a frowny face.
Okay.
Desmond's just looking at you. So, you're getting your stuff together rather slowly.
Sorry, yeah, I'm going now. Eliza's picking up papers, throwing them into the bag.
We have, I believe it is a Mustang.
Yes, that's correct. And
taking.
Luckily enough, as you pile into that vehicle and speed off, I will assume, the local news station is giving you a pretty good update on Kane's location, as the police also chase him down. And we're going to skip back to Kane now, as you come out to your journey into the city, and has taken you into near like downtown Boston, and you were in the bookshop was in like a back alley, and you've now come into sort of the main. As you sort of round the corner, and you spy on the ground, you see like you're in like central downtown Boston, to the point where you look over onto the pavement on the right, and you can see the Revere Trail. That's where you are. The noise of sirens, people are scattering as you round in front of the station in front of Faneuil Hall.
I'm going to. This might be a bad idea, but it might be fun to just fuck with Wisps right now.
Oh.
And just go to the Prudential Building right now.
Okay. Not too
I think
far.
that's what. I think that's
How?
what I'm gonna do.
On foot?
Oh yeah. I'm at this point. I don't even really care too much. Like I'm gonna like just run over there. I'm gonna burst through the doors and be like, "Everybody, get the fuck out of here unless you want to be a hostage."
Oh, okay.
Let me just. I need to check distance.
Actually, you know what? I will take one person as a hostage. I lied. I am taking a hostage.
That's 35 minutes on foot from where you are. There are police cars chasing you and a police helicopter overhead.
Damn. Okay, it is too far by foot then. Yeah, I guess. There's no basement. Is there? Situation is not great. Not just big L's right now.
Wow. We're figuring that out now.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, thank you for that. I guess my best option right now is I'm going to head into the building that you had just described, me being near.
Faneuil Hall.
Yeah, Faneuil Hall.
That is it's going to be full of tourists. It's like a historical landmark. Okay?
Right. I'm going to do that. But like I'm going to do so in a calm manner, in where I don't have my gun out. It's just kind of tucked away, and I'm just going to like walk over towards like the bathroom, also hopefully maybe like a lost and found to find a jacket and a hat.
Okay. Make a that's a stealth check.
All right. Come on, stealth, don't fail me now. 12.
Is that a success? I'll assume that's a success.
Yes, it's a success for once.
You like quickly tuck the pistol into like the waistband at the small of your back, and you put your coat over the top of it, and slip into the crowd that are all kind of running around with their arms scattered, and then into Faneuil Hall itself. You see on the left, there's like a reception desk that's not manned, and a cloakroom off to the left, to which you dip in and you pull on like a large overcoat and a Red Sox cap, and you stick that on. There are some sunglasses in the pocket of this coat as well. Lovely. And with your hands in your pockets, you slip out of the coat room and walk out through the back exit of Faneuil Hall. You can come in from the front and the back. You leave through the back, kind of begin calmly walking.
Oh no, I'm not calmly walking. I'm also just like the tourist, being like, "Oh,
Okay.
Just kind of like freaking the fuck out and just like I'm gonna pull out my burner phone, and at this moment, like a very distressed person would call their loved ones and be like, "Oh my God, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared." And which I am going to call Eliza's burner phone, and yeah,
Okay. Eliza, your phone goes off.
Eliza's like in the car already, in the driver's seat. Desmond, pick up my phone.
He answers, looks at it first to make sure it's not the fucking FBI or some bullshit. Sees that it's dumbass, and answers the phone. As soon as he answers it, he doesn't wait for anything. He just says, "Where do we need to be?"
I'm scared. Fuck. Prudential Building. I hate to do it, but like, right now it's too crowded over here. I'm going to head over to the Prudential Building where there's less scared people, and it's easier for me to blend in there. Okay, I'll meet you guys there.
Yeehaw.
And I'm gonna just like make my way to the Prudential Building, I guess. Kind of trying to use the store awnings, sort of like, you know how like a lot of businesses have the front store awnings and whatnot for shade in Boston. I'm gonna kind of use that to kind of just evade like helicopter spotting, and just stay away from like main streets where cops tend to like just follow through and patrol.
There is a lot. You've done this before, but when you were operating in places like Baghdad, Kabul, operations on cells are after the sort of, for lack of a better term, occupation, right? While the US military were in country and holding, working to eliminate terror cells, there was a lot of this sort of thing to evade Taliban spotters and things like that. So I will, instead of stealth, I will let you roll military science for this one, because it's operational. It's an operational thing.
Hell yeah, that's going to be a 37, so success for me.
Yeah, you use every trick in the book that you picked up about running urban operations in the Middle East to your advantage here. You cut through indoor malls where possible, duck in and out of a few different cabs, so kind of double back on yourself and around. It takes you a good hour to reach the Prudential Building in this manner. Double the amount of time as I stated earlier on, but for good reason. Eliza, Desmond, you waiting outside in the muscle car, and you see Kane come up out of the metro station. Kane, you ducked into there and literally just rode the T like one stop and then up again to avoid staying on any one mode of transport for too long. So you guys see him come up the steps and onto the ground level. You take it from there.
I kind of hop into the car, immediately unload the books onto the seat next to me to make sure that they're not damaged and too blood-soaked. And I'm immediately like, whatever's in there for the med kit, fucking give it to me now, please.
Can you do first aid on yourself?
I can.
You can?
I can, in fact, do first aid.
Okay, go for it then.
Make the check, yeah.
My one decent skill. Okay, great. 44. Under 72.
All right. So that's you get 1d4 hit points back. Do you want to roll that?
Yeah.
And you
I got 1 health point back.
you took a slug to the chest, so that's par for the course probably.
Yeah. Well, I can stem the bleeding.
Is that bullet still in there? Eliza asks out loud.
Oh, most likely. I had a wonderful run-in with our friends, the gas mask motherfuckers again.
Oh, Eliza's already driving, by the way. She's
That's-
taking, like,
Yeah, I assumed when he piled in that
back
you took off.
roads.
Not a problem.
She's going,
You can make a drive check for me, Eliza.
hell yeah.
For
Let's go.
some kind of how would Han Solo put it? For your driving casual, as a full-on police search goes on around you, specifically for the 3 of you.
All right. I am. I'm driving real casual. I rolled a 24 under 70.
Okay,
So
not a
Yeah.
problem.
I'm chilling.
You evade. You take back streets where you can. You evade blockades. You stay out from underneath the eye in the sky. And before you know it, you're kind of out from kind of central downtown Boston and on your way back to the motel.
Oh, I'm finding a new motel, Mark. We're not going back to the same place.
Okay.
We packed up things before we ran out the doors, so we should have most of our things with
Okay.
us.
Right, well,
That motel's-
you wouldn't need to roll to find somewhere new. There's plenty of places like that.
Yeah.
And you do. I'll allow you to take it away as you drive to your nearest one.
All right. Okay.
Kane?
So a number of things. First off, the bookstore. I met the architect of the McAllister building. The dude fucking went to jail for multiple child homicides. First of all, didn't realize it until after reading an architecture book and reading into a bit about him, but he was there. I had a wonderful run experience with our good friend Remy, who pretended not to be Remy, instead murdered the book storekeeper and pretended to be him. And then I got suddenly attacked by the gas mask soldiers. And nobody seemed to pay attention to them when they were shooting shotguns at me. But the second I shoot one silenced 9mm into one of them, everybody flipped their shit. So, my day's great. How's yours?
They just attacked you in broad daylight.
They attacked me in broad daylight, and nobody fucking batted an eye.
So what? You can only see them if you saw them in the spooky dimension, or are they selectively invisible?
Don't know. Maybe they're only apparent to those that they are hunting. Which, right now, is currently us. So, I'm going to have a quick read into these books that would hopefully help me with some handling skills and crafting and maybe get an idea of it. Because, hand grenades are very expensive, but IEDs are really cheap.
Okay.
As you crack open said book, as you're driving along on the freeway outside of the Boston kind of city itself, when there is a sharp on the back of the Mustang, and you turn around behind you to see what looks like a 1950s T-Bird, Model T, and behind the wheel, gentleman in a gas mask, and leaning out the passenger seat, shotgun in hand, a second one. And that is where we will take a short break. We fade back in, or perhaps smash cut back in. Two vehicles locked in pursuit on the freeway just outside Boston. One modern muscle car, three on the run ex-Delta Green agents? Who knows? In pursuit, a duo of seemingly unstoppable supernatural assassins. We will refer to dexterity order as we would in combat with this one. However, the way this works, because it is a vehicle chase and a vehicle, is it's actually the drive percentage of yourself, Eliza, versus the drive percentage of the person inside the vehicle, and that determines which party gets to go first.
Okay. Eliza's drive is a 70.
And the drive percentage of your pursuit is only, well, I'm not going to tell you, but it's lower than that. So your group are first, and within your group, it will be dexterity order, essentially, is how that would work.
14,
so
your weapons are in the back. Mess them up.
Yeah, that means, Desmond, you are indeed up first.
Do not open fire right now. The cops will pick us up again.
Desmond and Kane talk over each other saying the exact same thing, because I was literally about to do that. And then he stops halfway through as he sees everybody gets it. Eliza, try to get to the highway. Just go as fast as you can.
Right.
And then what?
You guys do anything? Like, there's a laser pointer in there. Shine it in their eyes. As Eliza's, like, stepping on it.
Do they even... Okay. You know what? That's amazing, what they've said. But instead, I'm going to take my camping flashlight, which is one of those obnoxious flashlights that are really easy to get in America, that shoot, like, the force of the sun. And I'm just going to flick it behind us.
Okay. You do, so it doesn't really do any... It's the middle of the afternoon. So it doesn't really... I'll let you know that before, if you want to change your action. Sorry. It's not nighttime. It is the middle of the afternoon.
Sorry, we did some scuff shit and went on an indeterminately long helicopter ride.
You did,
bad.
yeah. You by the time you got done with the operation, that was sort of through the night. And by the time you got back, like maybe 2-3 a.m. in the morning, and then slept through to the next day. So
that's fair enough. My bad. In that case, all of the big stuff is in the back. So, I think I'm just gonna get my silence pistol out, but I'm not going to fire it unless things become too dire. I think I'm gonna let Eliza try to get us out of here first.
Okay.
So I'll pass. Unless I don't think there's like a dodge action in this.
Not in the and just for clarification here, obviously Eliza's in the driver's seat. Kane, who's in a passenger seat and who's in the back?
I'm
He'd be in the back.
Yeah.
Because we picked him up.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, excellent, right. Yeah, Kane, do you want to do anything before Eliza makes her drive check?
Yeah. Assuming that there's a large surplus of some wonderful viscous drawing material that is my blood everywhere in the back seats, I'm going to try to like find a clean spot on like what I'm assuming is like the leather seats and whatnot, and just try to draw the elder sign again.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll take. You're not doing it with a supercharged supernatural battery this time round.
It's going to take time. Yeah.
It'll take 2 turns, and then on the 3rd turn is when it will execute. Where is it you wanting to put it?
I guess like, I'm assuming I'm just kind of sitting right here, so I'm guessing just like on, like the center seat, the leather center seat, just kind of scrawling it on there.
From what you know, it's a seal, a ward that affects that area.
Right. Yeah. Which right now I guess is preferred because we don't want them following us. But I mean, I guess I could just write it on paper and bring it with us. Yeah,
It's up to you.
I might just. You know what? I think I might just do that. I rip a page out of like a page that I know I'm not going to use for anything, like from the cryptids. Like, I don't know, what's my least favorite cryptid? Jersey Devil. He's boring. Rip it out. I'm gonna
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Things are getting
Where's
heated in the cryptid community.
The single most hilarious episode of the X-Files. But okay, so you begin doing that. Eliza, can you make a... well, first of all, what you can either make an offensive like driving maneuver against the vehicle behind you to give them a penalty to their check, or you can attempt to move one stage away. These are similar chase rules to when the large marionette chased you in Dorchester House.
Right. And for context, they have guns. Do I know the range of these guns? Do I know
You'll be able to tell.
easily they could like pierce a tire?
No.
Okay, well, yeah.
They're shotguns.
Yeah, they are
Okay.
shotguns, yeah.
I think they told me just go.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
So
just gonna-
you want to move one
I'm
stage in
just gonna-
front. Make a
I'm
drive.
just gonna go.
Yeah, make a drive
No,
check
I'm
for
just-
me.
Yeah, okay. What? Ooh.
The chase will conclude. You will quote unquote escape when you get a predetermined amount of steps or stages away from
Away
them.
Okay. Well, I got a 55 under 70.
That's fine. Yeah. So the moment that you feel that nudge on your back bumper, you quickly change gear, slip into the lane to the side, and then put your foot down and accelerate away quite quickly. They are going to. One of them is going to attempt to open fire on the back of the vehicle, and they roll a 98.
Losers. Sorry.
So as
L ratio.
yeah, so one of them opens fire, but goes to hit you, and as you change lane, instead hitting the sedan that was in front of you. The back tires of the sedan go up, and the vehicle fishtails and slows down and and gets in the way of the Model T, which does essentially a tank on wheels smash the sedan out of the way, but slows them down. You are now 2 stages ahead of them.
Since I didn't do anything proper with my turn, can I just take a good look at the reactions of the people around us? As I guess to them, a car just flies out of nowhere as it's pushed.
You can't really. I mean, you're on the freeway. It's kind of you can see. I mean, Eliza's putting her foot down now, so it's hard to gauge. There are people kind of looking around in abject, like what the hell's going on, kind of. And the driver's going to try and recover and then gain one of those stage back, so he's only 1 behind you instead of 2. If he succeeds, which he does succeed, so he is now 1 full stage behind you as opposed to being 2, but it's still not right on top of you thanks to your driving, and it's now rotating back round to your team's vehicle. Desmond.
Okay. It seems we're doing pretty okay for now. So I think the best thing for Desmond to do is let other members of the team utilize their skill sets properly. And so I'm just going to sit down and shut up.
Okay, that's fine. Kane.
Yeah, I'm just going to take another turn to keep drawing it.
Keep drawing, okay. It will be complete on the next turn. Eliza, make a drive check for me, please.
Okay. I'm still trying to go quick.
You're going to try and get away? Okay.
No, nothing fancy. Just get out of the way.
Initial D as we hit the fattest drift around these wrecks.
Yeah.
That's a 42 under 70.
Yeah, you move a stage away. You are now 2 stages between yourself and the enemy vehicle, as the shotgun wielding lunatic hanging out the side of the vehicle fires at your vehicle yet again. This time scoring a 51, which is a hit, as the back window shatters, and I'm going to say, Kane, make a willpower ×5 check for me, please, to see if the blast does or does not disrupt the ritual that you're attempting to complete.
It does not. I rolled a 4.
Nice.
All right, so you hunker down, and the back of the window shatters, putting a big dent in the side of the bodywork as well, and throwing sort of the shotguns have stopping power, and that's a big punch to the side of the vehicle. They are shooting slugs after all. You're going to have a 10% penalty to your next drive check, Eliza, and I'm going to make a check here as drive check is they roll a 14, so he does manage to move now. He closes that gap, so you're now no longer 2 stages ahead. You're now only 1 stage ahead of them once more. As I'm now going to roll to see if any hazards occur. Eliza, the blast of the vehicle knocks your vehicle, makes it just fishtail just for a moment until you regain control and straighten her out. But that momentary lapse of you turn and you see coming up onto the freeway from the off-road, big old 18-wheeler. And it pulls around somewhat in front of you. On the back, a large one of those portable homes, huge thing. And you notice at that point the window on one of the homes smash. And standing inside is the third gas mask assailant. And he'll now open fire on the side. He is directly adjacent to the vehicle, and he's going to open fire at... I'll fire and see if he hits, and then we'll see who he's shooting at. He rolls a 91, so he doesn't hit. The blast goes wide. But you've now got an attacker essentially directly on your right. And we're going to move back to your vehicle and Desmond.
So they're directly to our right?
One of them is. The third one. There are only two in the Model T behind you. The third one is inside the portable home that's on the back of this 18-wheeler that's directly to the right of your vehicle. And he's firing out of the windows of what would be like the living room, maybe, of this home.
I mean, it's America. He's got the right to defend his home. But unfortunately, I live in this car, so we're going to have to go a couple rounds. I'm just going to casually hit the down button on the window on the side, and the silenced Beretta at this point is not going to be noticed. So I'm just going to casually point it directly at this fool's dome and take a quick shot.
Okay. Is that a cold shot? So you said you were pointing it at his head, or was that just flavor?
That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, okay. So that's fine. You firing at a target, that's fine. Yeah, there is you're firing at a small person inside the move. There's going to be a 10% penalty to your firearms.
That's fine. This is a shot in the dark anyways.
Basically, yeah. Go ahead.
Negatory, that's going to be a 73.
No, the shot goes wide and one of the windows on the portable home smashes as the round impact. Kane, you are up. As the sigil completes, you now have a complete Elder Sign. You feel the... can you make the appropriate adjustments to your score, obviously, willpower, etc. And you can feel the... As you complete sort of that bit of energy kind of leave your body, and it's the paper's sort of somewhat teeming with it.
Let me see how much sanity I lose from this. See if I go crazy or not. Okay, I got 1, so
okay.
Horrible. All right, yeah. So that's done. That's on paper. I'm just kind of like keeping that with us right now, just trying to make sure that it doesn't break for any reason.
And you all in the vehicle with him definitely notice that completing. Like there's a slight disruption in the back seat and like a somewhat rippling effect as the seal finishes.
Okay. Hopefully that will kind of keep him off our fucking ass. I guess just keep driving.
I was planning on pulling over, Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. Eliza, if you want to make a drive check for me.
Hey.
Along with your maneuver, what is it you're planning to do?
So, for clarification, this 18-wheeler, is it like in front of us?
No, it's directly to your right. It's in the lane to your right.
To my right. So I can just go around it. I don't have to like.
No, you can accelerate and get away from it. Certainly.
Oh yes,
it's immediately to your right. Yeah. All right.
I'd love to leave that in the dust.
Okay. Yeah, make a check.
Alrighty. Ooh. I got a 13.
Excellent. Yeah, you pull ahead. You're now 2 stages away from the vehicle behind you, and gonna make a quick check for them first. That's 2 in a row that he's rolled. That's a crit fail. Their shooter. He just rolled an 88. So
Yeah.
I am going to punish them more this time. He fires again. And instead of hitting you as you pull away, the slug smashes into the back tyre coupling of the 18-wheeler.
Impeccable.
The 18-wheeler
Juicy.
Marvelous.
almost immediately jackknifes in the middle of the freeway. The house flips over onto its side. Eliza, can you make another drive check for me just to avoid smashing into the cab of the 18-wheeler as it veers into the lane in front of you?
Yeah. That is a 54 under 70.
Yes, no problem. You swerve out of the way, and you both see the body of the shooter from inside the mobile home just go sailing into the lane and get hit by... It goes under the wheels of the 18-wheeler and then is immediately struck by a Humvee coming out of the other side. The freeway is now in utter panic. And let's see if they can. I'm going to give them a big old penalty for this one, see if they can avoid getting caught up in the jackknife. Their driver rolls an 84, so he certainly fails massively. As you see the
Let's
Model
go.
T crash headfirst into the side of the cab of the 18-wheeler. And it's, as you peel away from the scene, the Model T is literally, like, the back half of it is hanging out of the cab itself, which is the cab itself is still upright. The driver is almost definitely very dead. But the mobile home on the back where the entire 18-wheeler jackknifed and flipped onto its side, and now there is an entire long portable home just along all of the lanes of the freeway, and several cars hit the thing before the cars behind them begin to grind to a halt. You've essentially created a gigantic roadblock behind you as you peel away.
Wonderful. Excellent driving, Eliza. 10 out of 10. Would rate you 5 stars on Uber. Great job.
And with that, we'll bring you out of the chase. Your assailants have been stopped for now. As you're peeling away, Desmond, your burner phone begins to ring.
Any ID?
It says Captain Sunshine.
Desmond, sort of without saying a word, holds the phone up in front of Eliza so she can see the caller ID, and then to Kane, and then he answers it and puts it on speakerphone. What?
Yeah, Dad, is that you?
Huh?
I saw the news. Are you all right?
This is an entirely different number. What did you call?
What? I saw you on the news. I thought I'll call you, see if you was all right. Look, I'm in Boston. Yeah, I drove. That's what you said you were. I was worried. Mum's worried.
Why?
Well, you didn't kill those people, did you, Dad?
What?
The
Hello? What do you... Did I miss something?
news, it said you killed all those people.
Fucking... What? Who? What news?
The news, they said you broke out of some sort of mental institution. I mean, when were you even in there? You didn't tell me. And that you killed a bunch of people to get out. Like, we've been worried.
I don't... Are you... What is going on? I'm in the middle of nowhere, finally trying to get a video done, and suddenly a work phone gets called. It's you, and I literally cannot comprehend what you are talking about. Am I in danger?
You know what, Dad? Fuck you. And he hangs up.
Desmond looks around the car with a very, just completely bewildered look on his face. So, just rough estimate. How many of us think that was real?
I mean, gonna have to say no on that one. It was your burner phone, and we don't hand those numbers out to anyone.
And it
so.
said fucking Captain Sunshine.
Right.
Hello?
I think you did the right thing, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't. There's no physical way.
Is there blood thickeners in the first aid kit?
Kane,
Oh, hi,
eat
Kane.
everything
Sorry,
that's
I
in
was
there.
dissociating.
No, you're fine. I just don't have enough blood in me to maintain proper consciousness, much less thought. So I'm going to take some blood thickeners, drink some water, and take a nap, if that's okay with you.
I would actually recommend you don't fall asleep.
Desmond, take this
Stay
piece
awake.
of paper.
Desmond, keep Kane awake.
Why?
Just keep it safe with you, okay?
No, I don't want to look at that.
It's fine. You study it. You might need it later.
Desmond, the email app on your burner phone has one new message.
I just got an email. I literally have not set up any email on this.
Read it out loud, Desmond. I'm still driving.
No, I mean, should I?
Well,
Am I getting trolled by 17 demons from the fucking dimension of fuckery? What actually is going on? Desmond looks back at Kane, taking probably just all the pills in the first aid kit, and sighs, and then starts to read the email. If
you open the app,
if it is
you open
an actual email, I'll read it.
You open the app. It was sent. You look at the time signature, and it was sent during the phone call that you just had. It's from a junk email address. Number 4 clown u616 at hotmail.com. Attached.
I'm sorry. The at hotmail.com threw me. What was it?
Number 4 clown u616.
Okay,
The
wow.
email has no text, but attached is a video file.
Or why not? I'm sure this won't scar me mentally.
You hit play. Video is a fisheye lens on you immediately recognize the decor of the hotel room you're looking at as the hotel that you were staying in, the same one the Delta Green agents disappeared from. But you check the time on the video, it's roughly 8.5 minutes, and it shows your son sitting in this room at one of the desks. They seem completely unaware that they're being filmed. He just looks to be surfing on the internet and humming to himself. He stands, puts on his shoes, gathers a set of keys, and leaves. A moment later, there are a dozen small dark figures that enter the room from off camera. None of their faces can be made out, and they rush into the room. They begin moving furniture and items out of the camera view. At around the 5:11 mark, the room is completely empty. The lights go out and a gong sounds, followed by a drum beat, and at the 8:01 mark, a tall figure dressed in gold crosses the room from left to right. Can you make a sanity check for me, please?
Yes, I can. So I frantically type the notes. That's a 16. That's an easy money.
You still lose 1 sanity as
Aww.
the lizard part of your brain, the part that has kept you alive so far, or so you think, that part of your brain is attuned to everything you've encountered since you entered the McAllister building. And that part of your brain is screaming at you that the figure that just moved across the room is the source of all of it. You lose a single sanity point as you realise you have just laid eyes on the King in Yellow himself, even if only briefly. The drums... He moves forward off screen, vanishing from view, and then the drums reach a crescendo and stop. A moment later, there are several thumping sounds, and then new figures rush into view from the left-hand side. The video stops on them, showing a momentary brown blur as the feed stutters. Can you make a search roll for me?
I absolutely can. I'm pretty decent at that, as it turns out, with a 13. So that's definitely a success.
On that brown blur, you pick out what looks like a shotgun and a gas mask as the video ends.
Okay.
You okay, Desmond?
I just saw a fever dream. I just got an email from number 4 clown u616@hotmail.com. Because of course. And it was a video of my son in the hotel we were just in, unaware as shit. Then my son gets up, and it's like a stage crew comes out and resets everything, and then the big man himself, the big cheese, he just walks right across from left to right, and then he's gone. But also, the gas mask dudes were there. Fucking, what does any of that mean? I still do not think my son is really there. Or if he is, my son is, way in over his head. You know, it's probably too late.
Do you know your son's phone number off the top of your head?
No. I don't.
What about an
Yeah.
email?
What, you want me to email him? Be like, yo, number 1 wanted in the US. It's your dad here. You up.
Essentially.
I don't know if
just,
leaving.
Just let him know that what he sees on the news is not true, and that we're gonna sort it out.
I'm gonna be honest. Their email is definitely being monitored by literally everyone. I mean, I'm sure their calls are too, but at least we would be leaving a little bit less
in
of a
the
trail.
Fuck. Did he call me?
Desmond, whatever you want to do now is up to you. Just tell me where you want to go. I'll get you there. If you need to go get your son, we can get there.
I mean, according to this video I received from a literal clown, my son was in this hotel, but is now gone and was driving somewhere. So I don't fucking know really where he is. If that actually is him. Well, I mean... Oh. And Desmond, like, sinks down into the chair. Hey, Eliza, you know how, a demon got your husband?
Mm-hmm.
And he just sort of turns to look at you. Do you think a demon got my son?
Perhaps, maybe.
Honestly, it's possible, I think. I think our lives and, well, this life and our personal life are becoming one and the same, and it's... Well... I think staying away from the people we care about might be best for them, but... I don't know.
I guess I don't want to go back to that hotel. That feels like a death trap. But we have to go somewhere where Ranko can find us. Because obviously these burner phones are fucking useless. So should we just get rid of them?
We should get new ones.
Probably would be for the best.
These ones are old already. We shouldn't have been using them for longer than what we have been already. Like, these ones are too old.
So, here's the thing. Do any of you actually have cash? Because Ranko has got all of the money.
Not enough to buy new phones, but I guess we text Renko, we let him know that we need to get new phones. Maybe let him know where we're thinking of staying.
I mean, what other choice do we have, I guess?
Still need more weapons and ammo.
Well, I think for my own peace of mind, I'm gonna throw the burner phone off of the highway. Is that cool with y'all, or?
That's fine.
I'm tired of that. And he literally rolls down, like, the passenger window and just chucks it off, like, one of the elevated highways, and it zooms out as it falls, like, 400 feet.
Yeah, not a problem. It's gone.
That felt actually really good to do. I understand why people break their phones now.
Hey, do we have any, like, Red Bull or anything sugary in this car? The adrenaline's kind of wearing off now.
I mean, we have adrenaline.
And just grab
Um,
one, is like prodding Eliza with it, like, go out. Do
You
it, take it.
hear the stereo in the car crackle to life. That strange voice you just heard speaking in tongues. Flickers of conversation. Some English, some
Left in that pestilential place, and utterly without power to hope for comfort. I could neither sit nor lie down. There was no room. I was placed, as it were, in a hole in the wall, and those walls
Interesting.
to look on themselves, hemmed in on every side.
Kane tries to go shut the radio.
Yeah, that's the worst.
you hit the power button.
I could not breathe.
Does nothing.
There was no light.
I'm about to shoot this radio. I'm about to remove the radio.
I did not understand how it is. Though there was no
This is a
Yes.
more Mustang.
pain by being
It'll
gonna
have a
listen-
removable radio.
I'm gonna listen into like the radio a little bit more closely, try to pick up some of the what they're saying.
No, don't do that. Oh no.
Turn it up
Roll
and see.
unnatural for me. If you have any.
Unnatural.
Do you have any?
I think I have like 4.
Roll it.
It was a 14. That's a big L.
it you it doesn't grasp. You're trying to listen for something that's utterly unknowable, and your conscious brain knows this. Rejects it even.
Hey, Eliza, you want to listen in on this? Or Desmond, would you
I'm
care to
driving.
No.
I'd rather not crash the car.
Desmond is already trying to pull the goddamn radio out.
And as you're fiddling with that, it stops. Silence in the vehicle. And then, as a matter of fact, Eliza, you feel the engine shut down as the car loses power. Slowly, it allows you to pull over as you roll to a halt. The rain begins to come down once more. And just momentarily, the radio crackles to life with one final message. Dad? Come find me. And that is where we're going to end the session for the evening. Once again, I want to thank all my players and everyone that's chosen to listen for doing so. And as always, I need to ask you, have you seen the yellow sign? Good night.